A brand new CNN poll out right now showing high disapproval of President Trump's strikes on Iran. A brand new CNN poll found that nearly 6 in 10 Americans disapprove of the airstrikes on Iran, and 59% of Americans say they don't trust President Trump to make the right decisions on the use of force in Iran. 60% of Americans do not believe the president has a clear plan on how to handle the situation.
Before Trump was the guy bombing Iran, he was the guy warning that a desperate president would bomb Iran to save his own political skin. He spent years saying that a weak president would use the Iran card when they were in trouble at home. That kind of sounds like what Trump is doing to distract from the Epstein files and take control of the 2026 midterm elections, which we'll get into a bit later.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
For years, the villain in Trump's story has been Barack Obama, and now, more than a decade later, the only president who actually did the thing he warned about is Donald Trump.
The United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
And now, because of Trump, at least 6 U.S. soldiers have been killed in action with another 18 injured. And this is how he decided to respond.
Even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives, we pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
You hear that, America? Cadet Bone Spurs over here doesn't give a shit if you die. And now, a shooting in Austin where 2 people died with another 14 people injured is potentially being labeled an act of terrorism in response to Trump's attack on Iran. And of course, there's also the attacks from Iran on other countries, allies, and US bases. Way to go, MAGA. You can go f*** yourselves. Their blood is on your hands. You voted for this, and now innocent people are paying the price. Here's the timeline. Trump helps push the Obama birther conspiracy in 2011, and then later that year at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Obama roasts Trump into oblivion.
No one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac?
Then Trump ramps up his attacks by claiming Obama would bomb Iran to win an election and hide the fact that he could not negotiate, which is rich coming from Trump, who, as we've learned, got the nickname Taco. Well, as history shows, Obama never launched that war, but Trump just did. He wrote the script about a desperate president bombing Iran for politics and then cast himself in the lead. In November 2011, he tweeted that Barack Obama will attack Iran in the not-too-distant future because it will help him win the election. Then, in July 2012, he tweeted, "Just as I predicted, Barack Obama is preparing a possible attack on Iran right before November." A month later, he repeated the prediction, saying Obama will attack Iran in some form prior to the election. A year after that, Trump tweeted that Obama would launch strikes on Iran in order to save face. And a week later, he tweeted, "Remember what I previously said, Obama will someday attack Iran in order to show how tough he is." This boy who cried wolf routine is getting pretty old. There's another tweet. In November 2013, Trump tweeted that Obama would attack Iran due to his inability to negotiate properly. Now, fast forward to 2026, this is Trump's idea of the Situation Room. He spent years saying Obama would bomb Iran for politics, and now he is literally posing for his own Iran war room photo at his Mar-a-Lago golf club. Also, I just want to point out that in the background of this photo, they have a map with potential targets and their military operations. And if this shot feels familiar, there's a reason. It's basically a copy-paste of the Venezuela war room photo. Same table and same bargain bin black curtains. Trump wants the Obama bin Laden war room moment so badly that he keeps building a knockoff at Mar-a-Lago and recycling it for every foreign strike he can.
He did it at Mar-a-Lago. in front of the curtains. You know, we've seen this before, those black curtains. And he talked about the costs of war. He talked about the fact that service members were going to die. He said that that's just something that's going to have to happen. Then he talked tough and he banged his chest like elites in Washington often do. Then he literally walked behind the curtains to his private club and he hosted $1 million a plate dinner and dance party that night. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the tone deafness and how the elites always get wealthy and get something out of this and the working class are left holding the bag, I don't know what does.
Let's just quickly rewind 8 months to last June. Trump celebrated a joint US-Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facilities like it was the series finale for their nuclear program. He called it a bullseye, bragged about monumental damage, and said obliteration is an accurate term. His team told the world that it would take years for Iran to rebuild. The message was simple. They fixed it. Trump said Americans were much further away from a nuclear program than the day before, and J.D. Vance repeated it everywhere. His defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, promised the bombing obliterated Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons, said the bombs worked perfectly, and claimed that anyone who disagreed was just trying to undermine Trump. Questioning the intel became questioning the man. So then when intel suggested that some nuclear material survived, Trump did not adjust. He went after the press, threatened lawsuits, and tried to get a reporter fired. His version stayed the same. Iran's nuclear threat was smashed, and anyone who said otherwise was fake news. Experts that the White House promoted said it would take years for Iran to reconstruct what it had lost. Their own talking point was that any serious nuclear threat was far off, not right around the corner, but fast forward 8 months, and suddenly it's imminent. The same president who swore that he'd obliterated Iran's program now warns of imminent threats from Tehran. He says Iran is developing long-range missiles that threaten Europe and US troops and could soon reach the American homeland. So which story is true? Are the nukes buried under a mountain of rubble, or are the nukes about to hit America? Now, according to independent experts and legal scholars, they say that Iran does not currently have missiles to hit the US, and there are no imminent Iranian attacks underway when Trump struck.
There was no imminent threat to the United States. You know, ironically, Dana, if the president had chosen to take one of these actions back in early January, when the Iranian people were on the streets in the millions, you could make a case because that might have nudged the regime into dramatic change.